Alright, welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Vechain, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what we think is likely to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what you're waiting for guys, check it out. Link is in the description below. Let's jump right down into the video. So in the last video that I put out, I was talking about a move to the downside. A big crash is coming here for Vechain, and I do think that that is still something that is on the horizon. There are, of course, or is this some fundamental stuff that's going on in the background. We do see that potentially Vechain VET token is going to get listed on Coinbase. That could be a fundamental change that kind of sees a bit of a move to the upside, kind of as a bit of a counter. But as we track the current participants trading in and out of Vechain, everything looks like we still have further to the downside to go. Okay, now in that last video, the comment section was quite hilarious. There's a lot of negativity towards me in regards to the fact that, you know, we saw a move to the upside. Again, that move to the upside was around the XRP getting the non-security status from the judge over in the US, which is fantastic, and it's had a real big positive impact on the price action of Vechain and many other altcoins. However, we have to acknowledge exactly what it was, which was a bit of a pump to the upside because of XRP's clarity. And all those gains were wiped out a few hours later, as you can kind of see right here. Right, we had this fantastic move upwards, and then we come crashing all the way back down again. There's no additional benefits that were made during that time. And this structure here is still very much in a bearish state of play. Okay, so we cannot get too excited, too carried away, thinking that, you know, we are, you know, in a fantastic structure and we're going to the moon. That's not really the case. Right here, we can see quite clearly a 5-wave structured move to the downside and a very clear 3-wave structured move to the upside that we were hoping had finished here at 1.9, but actually turns out it's finished up here. We had an extra 5-wave structure at the end there, 335, just regular flat, nothing too elaborate. The move to the downside also doesn't give us the impulsiveness that we would kind of look for, at least not on the 1 hour time frame. If we take it to a 5-minute time frame, right in here, you can actually see that there is a move to the downside here that we can map out as a potential 5-wave structure. That's quite an important one. So if we come bring this back up into our 1 hour time frame, okay, and we bring this across here, we know that this particular move can contain 5 waves in itself, but it doesn't allow us to look at this as a 5-wave with a 3-wave nested, right? So to me, it still looks corrective. Even if that does finish in 5 waves there, it hasn't put us in a strong position, at least not from that point of view. The other way we could look at it, although I don't think the structure is perfect, would be for us to kind of think of this area here as a potential. So let me just zoom out just for a fraction here. Okay, so if we were to look at this maybe as a wave 1, up here is a wave 2, then we come down into a big wave 3, 4, and 5, then we could potentially see that. Now, why am I talking about 5-wave structures and why are they important? Well, they're important because we've got a 5-wave structure here at the beginning. And if you start with 5 waves, you must end in 5 waves, right? So you can't just have a random 5-wave structure just appear in the middle of nowhere. And, you know, for the most part, there's no other way I can justify having that 5 waves there, I don't think. A running flat potential, but I don't think that's really a good fit either. So for the most part, I'm still expecting a 5-wave drop here and to take us down in a little bit lower than where we were previously. Okay, staying lower than here. Of course, once that is done, we can talk about moving back to the upside and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so for the most part on our 1 hour time frame for VET here, essentially is we are looking for moves to the downside, specifically on these micro movements of the hourly chart. Okay, now this isn't something that's going to be slightly longer term. These are just micro movements and so forth. So as I start to kind of scale this up, if we take a look at our weekly time frame, you can of course see we are still in a bearish state of play. Nothing much has changed on many of these altcoins. It still remains exactly the way that it was before. Let me go ahead and try and draw in some trends to kind of help illustrate the purpose of this, right? So if I draw this in here, you can see I mean, we potentially are testing things, and I don't think we're going to do too well with that, right? But we tested this area just over here. Okay, we can see this right in that area, and this happened back in November of 2021, right? Then had a test of this area, and this test right here in February of 2023 isn't just a test of the trend line, it's a test of the 50 and 200 EMA crossing at the same time. And then of course we find ourselves testing this trend line right now. Okay, so again, we're just setting lower highs at big macro weekly level. We have a 50 EMA that is lower than the 200 EMA, and the price action is below both the 50 and the 200, right? So no matter how you kind of want to cut it, right, we're bearish on Vechain, and there's no reason to think otherwise right now. And so we need to be, looking at it exactly as it should be looked at. And that is that things are not good right now. Now, as we kind of pull some fibs on here, if we scale this up a little bit, let me go ahead and put that one back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these circles because they're just going to clutter up the chart and I don't need them. You can see here that we've just been rejected on the 50% level. Okay, the 50% level on the fib scale. Okay, so we've had this move down. We've just rallied up 50%. And that happened from basically the 5th of June upwards here. Great run. Okay, we've seen a great run here from the bear market low. Okay, 61%. So the bear market low happening over here, week commencing the 5th of June. We can see, it was about 21 days ago, we kind of peaked up there, tapping into that 50% range and getting rejected from it. So not only are we below the 50 EMA, we're below the 200 EMA. Okay, we're testing the downward trend line, but we're also got rejected from the fib scale, 50%, right? And so it's going to be quite tough for Vechain to kind of push on through it. Now, it's not impossible, but you have to kind of look at it as with the data that we currently have available to us right here, that things are in a bearish state of play. Okay, not only do we see that 5-wave structure on those smaller time frames, but we also see here that there's lots of reasons for rejection at the macro level. So we can't get too excited. I think Vechain has an incredibly bright future ahead of it, right? I think it's going to do incredibly well. It's got a credible use case. It's a layer 1 smart contract platform that has its own stable coin, has lots of NFTs going on in its ecosystem, right? It goes above and beyond just what people think of Vechain as a supply chain protocol. It has so much more to it. And I think that marketing around Vechain is going to get even better as we start to understand more and more what Vechain can do. And I think that's a powerful thing that's going to happen in the next bullish market. So just bear in mind that for Vechain here, it has some real great potential in the future, but it does look like there's going to be some better prices to come, right? I think we're going to have new bear market lows for Vechain's VET token. I think we're going to be able to accumulate massive amounts of VET at a really good rate, and I think the bull run's going to be very, very good overall. If I zoom on out of this, right, as you can kind of see here, we are tracking a big macro 3-wave pattern. This is going to span many, many, many months, okay, and this is where the next new all-time high will be for Vechain. Now, depending on how low this goes will depend on how high the price action can go. Personally, I'm just targeting out some nice areas. Let's try to target 50 cent. Let's try to target a little bit higher than that if we can, towards the $1 level. But the future's bright. I think we've got a lot of things to kind of look forward to here. Accumulating Vechain from a technical standpoint at these low points for great price appreciation later, I think is kind of where my mind is at. We should see very significant gains on Vechain's VET token in the future, in my opinion. But do bear in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. All I can do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally do see it. And that's kind of how I look at it. I think there's going to be some fantastic opportunities to buy Vechain cheaper. And I think the future is going to see some real good appreciation. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. And yeah, if you found this useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for, guys? Check it out. The link is in the description below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to risk your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.